Okay, this is Brother Paul out here in Northern California. There's the time right there, 11:04 a.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. Take note that it's 16:16. So the way I look at it today, 10/16 is a 7/3 day. 16/12 is a 7/3. That's all I'm going to say about that. I've been sitting on this dream, as you can see. Just try to be briefly because I ran out of time yesterday. You see this dream right here, Dream of Chicago? I made this yesterday. Already, I made it at 5:41 p.m. yesterday, and I've been praying on it for all day last night. It was uploaded, it was private, it was deleted. So let me go straight into this dream before I run out of time, because I believe this is something I have to release, and I don't really know why, and I need your help with this, please. This is how it started in real life. Yesterday it was around 10:30 a.m. An earthquake hit in Alta Sierra, and I will show that. Alta Sierra is where I did the wedding for my nephew. Probably the only wedding I'll ever do. It was my first wedding, and to be honest with you, unless it's a family member, it'll probably be my last. So that's quite significant. This is where my wife family lives. Her mother and brother passed away up there. We go up there once a week. We still have a lot of relatives up there. Her dad, her two nephews, and her other brother. For an earthquake to hit there is very, very rare. And so I looked at so what I did was I took these, I'll just show you exactly what I did. I took these latitude and longitudes, and for some reason I just punched them in to see the area. But let me show you with Google Earth that this is Alta Sierra. It's a pot. Everybody see it's less than 7,000 people, but look, the 911. At the same time, on my homepage, someone was asking me about the number 9. Look at the zip code. It's a 9, a 9, and a 9. And even all zip code numbers out here in the United States are 5-digit. Even the extra 2 in between the 3 nines, 5 and 4 equal a 9. And it's a 911. And then I saw 11, 8338, 1111, and I realized God was trying to get me a message out of this. But look at the coordinates are different from the USGS coordinates. See that 397 and then 39? Over here they were listing 35, and see they're different. So I began to look at this. I began to do some Google Earthing. If you punch in these numbers right here without the north and west, it'll take you to China and Japan. I'll show you. It just all became kind of overwhelming that this exact area where I did the wedding, where we go up to where the only family we really have is, and then my father went into the hospital again. It became overwhelming, so I just didn't put it up. I ended up later, matter of fact, we go up and down this road once a week right here, Brewer Road, if you only knew. So yesterday I fall asleep and I have this dream. Now pay attention please to this dream. I need your help on it. In this dream, I'm in Chicago. I'll be very clear on this. And I'm living outside I'll show you. I'm living outside on a balcony on a high-rise in Chicago. And I don't know anything about Chicago. I've never been there. I didn't even know they had a Chinese consulate in Chicago. All this was revealed to me prophetically, and I believe that I'm to put out a warning. Let's go there. Just give you an idea of the area. It's right near Lake Michigan. See, I'm not familiar with this area. Do you see this? This is Lake Michigan right here. So remember every term that the Lord has shown me. Michigan, Chicago, China. If you go down and look at it, I want to just show you how, I just want to use the word bizarre. This is and if you go down here, you'll find, if you keep going down, you'll find out that there's Chicago, there's a consulate for Indonesia and a consulate for Thailand. But I want to focus on this one. I'm living in my dream. Now this is my dream. The earthquakes were real. This is my dream. I'm going to show you. Watch. Go down to ground level. I'm living on a balcony. See how there's see how there's my Google Earth things are really limited, and I apologize. I'm living on a balcony facing out towards Lake Michigan, and I'm cold and I'm hungry, and I have all this. See these balconies? I know this of the Lord because I just wasn't even going to mention it till just now. God said you must mention it. You have to. So I'm living on this balcony, and I've been given a job. It has nothing to do with my ministry. I want you to know that. It has nothing to do with my ministry. I have all this data equipment like a Geiger counter to detect radiation. I'm outside this thing that reads particle masses in the air. This thing it can sense earthquakes. All these computers, even weather detection stuff. And my job is to just sit out there, and I have all this scratch papers and pens. And when the data comes in, I'm to write it. And then if something occurs, I'm to run in and report to the office inside. There's a corporate office inside. Other than that, I basically have to live outside. And my mindset in the dream is, well, at least it's a job. I wonder why I'm in Chicago, why I'm living outside. But in my mind, in the dream, I was just happy to be alive and have a job. And the view was pretty good looking down here. All of a sudden, this cloud, this black, dark cloud just forms right here. This cloud was made, and all my equipment starts going off. Hallelujah, this is prophetic. And and all my equipment goes off. Someone had made a cloud. I don't know if it was spiritual or naturally, but they made a dark cloud for cover. And then there's this earthquake. And so now I got 3 equipments going off. I don't remember exactly 3. One was weather related, and one was the earthquake. So this cloud, the cloud that I saw created the earthquake. Now I want you to remember what triggered me getting so, I want to say, stressed out, and just in all honesty that I fell asleep, was tracking these latitudes and longitudes of real earthquakes that had happened in places where I have family. Do you understand that? So I get up and I grab my scratch paper and my pen, and I'm jogging down data, and I look up in the cloud, and these things began to float out of the clouds that do not exist. One of them was it was a floating, flyable. Have you ever seen that movie Contact, where they have these radar satellites that are down on Earth and they're communicating with space? A big radar satellite dish. But it's flying, and it's made of pure gold. It comes out of the cloud flying, and behind it is a satellite, like a weather satellite in space. I'll show you. And it's pure gold too. And they're both I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible because this is not really a thing I want to do, to be honest with you. I just want to give you a visual. Okay, like something. This is actually a good depiction of it. This thing comes flying out of the space behind the radar. But here's the thing, it's made of pure gold. Is that not the weirdest thing? This thing comes flying out from the cloud that had generated an earthquake, and then behind it comes a big radar satellite like this, and they're both pure gold, and they're flying as if and they're flanked by a bomber and a jet. Is everybody with me on that? So I go, so we have it. What they did was, as soon as they came out from the cloud, it's the strangest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I still, over 24 hours later, cannot shake it out of my head. That's what I saw. So what they did was they were able to communicate with this entire street, electronics, even people's minds. And all power went dead, and this became gridlock as they all stopped and watched this procession come flying out of this cloud. It was bumper to bumper to bumper, and this was like 8 lanes. And so it's just gridlock, and people weren't panicking. It was like they were used to it, and I'm like, what is this? So I figured I'm going to do my job. I was probably about 3/4 of the way up. I go running in, and it's my pastor, Pastor Larry from Sacramento. I've known him 5 years. I've worked 2 revivals with him in April of 2011 and April 2012. We brought together the fivefold ministry. He's sitting in there at a desk. He's taken a corporate job instead of the ministry. He runs a big ministry in Sacramento that live streams around the world. He's taken this corporate job in this corporate office with 2 females. And I go in there and tell him, I said, Pastor Larry, I mean, because we're also personal friends. I'm like, look, man, a cloud just formed. It created an earthquake. The things that are flying out of the sky I've never seen anything like this. You have to come out here and look at this. He said, you talking about the objects in the sky? I said, yeah. I said, it's gridlock out there. And he's real nervous because it's like he wants to tell me something, but he can't, because there's these 2 women in business suits that pay us, and they were really upset that I was in there. I can tell. We're in like a corporate business office, and I can tell that he has something to tell me, but he won't. First thing when I woke up was like, why were we doing business stuff and this type of stuff and not ministry? Because anytime we've ever gotten together, it was for fivefold ministry revivals. And here we are in Chicago doing this type of stuff. I need your input on this. This is bothering me, and it shouldn't be. So one of the females, she looks at me, and Pastor Larry, to protect me, he says, Paul, he says, welcome to Chicago. These are his exact words. Get used to it. It happens every day at the same time. I said, gridlock? And I said, and that and an earthquake? He said, yep, just keep logging it. And then so I'm like, okay, I could tell he was kind of trying to hush me out of the room. And here I am back out to the cold balcony. And the Lord revealed this part of the dream to me this morning. That's why I figured if he's given me more, he wants me to release it. They have food out. You ever been in like a conference room where there's like meats out and breads and donuts and fruit for people to eat during the conference room? I remember grabbing all this food. I went into survival mode, and the lady, she gave me a real dirty look, and I said, I'm hungry. And then as I'm going out, I felt evil daggers in my back, and I knew they weren't for Pastor Larry. He was praying for me, because I'm going back out in the cold on the balcony to live. And I turned and looked at her, and it was like I was looking at the devil right in the eye in this woman, and I'd sensed like she was full of like Jezebel or something. And I woke up. So I began to run more numbers. I wish I had more time. I'm going to run out. I began to run more numbers, but I'll show you do it. Take this Makaraza, Japan. Go look at that area. Matter of fact, I'll do it real quick. I'll show you. Please, Lord, I got like 30 seconds. Give me time. When I woke up, the Lord had me go look at this area. This is an earthquake that came in today. This is the area. It's related to the China dream. if you pan out, look, it's Japan and China. I'll do it as quickly as possible. North Korea, South. I ran out of time, and then my internet went down twice. It just kept going down, but it's back up. Praise the Lord. This is what I wanted you to see. North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and China, and all areas in between. This is a warning. Now, I think this somehow relates to the United States. So let me show you how I ended up there in my dream. I want to show you this in real time. I took these coordinates from the local, you can see it was yesterday's date. I took these coordinates just in innocence. This was before having that dream. I really need some help with that dream. I just wonder why I was even in Chicago. It's no place I would ever consider ever going. I got rid of, see, I'm new to Google Earth, so those are the coordinates. Everybody see that? I want to be very crystal clear on this is not something that I'm just randomly doing. See how my computer's acting up? Okay, this really was an earthquake yesterday where I did the wedding where we had family. And you can see the coordinates, right? So I take these coordinates and I punch them in Google Earth. There they are. You can double check them. And I hit go. This is what I did yesterday before I had the dream. It just became too overwhelming. Watch right where it goes to the exact area. I want you to see this. It's important. Now let's back out. Because I had no idea what I was looking at. Those are the coordinates listed for where I did the wedding. So then today, I wasn't even going to make this video. I had uploaded it, and I'm like, you know what? I got to reach some souls. This comes in a 5.3 today. Everybody see that? So I put this. I just want to show you. Remember this right here. These coordinates are the same coordinates from, you understand what I'm saying, from Alta Sierra, where my wife was born and raised, and where I did the wedding, where we have family, just without the N and the W. Usually when I try to run them like that, they don't work anyway, so I remove. So let's put in this. Now, I'm not even going to, you're going to see this in real time, and I'll close. What? This is, that's the area. Someone said at 9. Are those both 9s again? Look. 7, 2, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So let's pan. This is weird. I mean, this really is. There comes a time where, look, there's an airport. I always look at airports when I see them. There's this urgency in my spirit to tell you, look, you got a testimony. Is that not the same map? Ask yourself, is that not the same map? This is China, this is Japan, this is North Korea, this is South Korea. And I guess if I could say anything in closing is to go back and listen to my dream. Why are both Pastor Larry and myself in Chicago in the first place? How does it relate to the Chinese consulate? What are the things in the sky? Are they controlling the weather? Is an earthquake coming? These are just questions that I have. Why was I living outside? Why wouldn't have I had a room inside where they were, you know, to do that type of work? Seems like something that would. Anyway, so I'm going to get this uploaded, and I do feel, most importantly, as you look at this area, and then let's just put in USA. Everything I do just as led by the Lord, to see where Illinois is on the map. I feel compelled to tell you that we have a testimony as followers of Christ. Okay, there's Lake Michigan. We have a testimony as followers of Christ. There's Illinois. That makes sense. I know a pastor up here in Wisconsin. This is really strange. Let's just look at that and take it all in. Just take the whole thing in. But I want to show the states. We have a, I'll go left, I'll go right. You can tell I'm not normally bothered by dreams. I haven't had a dream that's bothered me like this. And I just trying to figure out. And maybe that's where you come in. Maybe that's where you come in, Saints. Is that another airport? There's another 9, look. And another 9 again. So that's not a 9, it's a 12. And a 12. Anyway, 11, 11, look. 11, 11. That's my address and the day I went into ministry. There's the 9. There's an airport. Anyway, I certainly don't feel like making a 20-minute video. I honestly don't want to make this video at all. But I have to in obedience. According to Ezekiel 33. Pray for your loved ones because something bad is coming. And I believe it's all related. Everything that God showed me in the sky, everything with the earthquake, everything with Chicago, everything with California, everything with Japan and that whole area of, North Korea, South Korea, that whole map. The corporate environment trying to, using evil demons to split the church and scatter them. I believe it's all related somehow, but I believe, me in survival mode with food, being out of town, I somehow believe it's all related. It's kind of weird that it put a star on Washington. My videos run long is because God shows me stuff, and I only stop when He says stop. So if you're looking for short videos, this is the wrong channel. Look at that, Rappahonak. I'm going to attach my okay, that's it. I'm going to attach my video of the ship I was on called the Rappahonak. I knew I kept going for a while. Wait till I attach my video. It's making sense now. Here's a 9 again. Look, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait till I in a 12. What's 12? Well, 12 disciples and 12 tribes. Wait till I'm going to attach the video of me being on the USS Rappahonak that fired shots and how these stories just disappear. But more importantly, you have a testimony. This is what the Lord told me. And it took me a long time to say this, but it's because I'm a little shook. Anybody that'll tell you they're not shook, they're not being totally honest. I'm a little shook. But it just builds my faith. You have a testimony to put out, okay? And you're running out of time to do it. You're living as if you have years. And there's some people that need to hear the testimony you have. And you haven't given it, and you're not giving it enough. And you will be held accountable for that. And it's the same. I'm putting out as much as I can. But I want to focus on like a bunch of word God has given me. That's why I wasn't going to make this. I was going to wait till tomorrow, and I was going to do Hebrews 10 and Hebrews 4 and 2 Timothy 3. And God said, no, you do this. See, so I'm doing what God says to do, not what the world says to do. And I think that's related to my dream too. The church is doing what the world is saying to do, not what God is saying to do. And I just thought I'd throw that in. But I'm curious on your input on that dream. And don't you find it troubling that an earthquake hit right where I did that wedding? And is any... Oh, let me show you one more thing since we made a 30-minute video anyway. I didn't know you can do this, but I've been staring at this little circle for a long time. I didn't really even know what it was. Because I was rolling around on the mouse, and I see how I found that 3-7. I'm like, whoa, 3-7, and it's... Notice that it's inside the fault lines with no earthquakes. And God, yesterday, God continuing, He said, double click it. So I double clicked it. Look, I didn't know you could do this. I mean, you can even go in closer. This runs right through Israel. This is Egypt, and this is Syria. Saudi, Yemen. God said, watch this. Notice how it's all surrounded by a fault line? God said, watch this area. I am amazed at the power of God, and I give Him all praise and all glory and all honor. I want to tell you, He saved me. He's real. He is showing people things. If your eyes need to be spiritually wide open, repent, because time is running out. When you see all these things, look up. You need to be. You need to have Christ on your mind and Christ in your heart, and His word coming out of your mouth now more than ever. Stop looking at the world and start looking at the kingdom. Stop acting like a lukewarm Christian, and we gotta get this message out to the lost, because we are running out of time, and the new world order is going to put in things in place like what we saw in the sky that will prevent us from putting it out. The time to put out the word of God to the lost souls, I can't stress it enough, is now. Jesus.